Have you ever played a gambit within a gambit? How is this video going to be useful for you? You're going to see an attacking setup within the Queen's Gambit. You're going to see why the opponent did not accept the gambit within a gambit. And then you're going to see one of the most beautiful moves of all time. How so? Because the move looks impossible. D4, D5, C4 and take with the white pieces. We have Daniil Dubov, one of the most creative players of all time. With the black pieces, we have Nihal Sarin, a top player from India. At the moment, we have the Queen's Gambit accepted. White's just given up a pawn. White can get to center, but then black reacts with E5, which is a really good way to react. Now, you guys might be thinking, is this the gambit that William is talking about, where black accepted a pawn, but black's actually giving the pawn back? This capture is awful for white. You can't castle. You attack the center. You give a check. You give a check. And then it's just so difficult for white to play. King in the middle, strong pawns, strike in the center. This is not a really good setup. It's just not a good setup for white. So in this moment, Daniil Dubov plays one of the best moves here, which is to stop black striking with knight f3. Because if e5 now, you actually take with the knight. So this is quite an accurate moment, an important moment already on move 2 of the Queen's Gambit. Black goes knight f6 because you want to stop white going e4. So these two knight moves on move 3, they're actually very important. So if white can't go e4, it's going to go e3. You're going to get your pawn back. Black strikes in the center and now a6. Black wants to get more space. I'm so pleased Dubov didn't play this option, because this is actually one way to continue in the Queen's Gambit accepted, where the queens are off, black is fine, and then you just keep playing. I'm so pleased, and this is one key moment in the intro. This aggressive setup, you go queen e2, don't trade queens. It's time to fight. The rook can go to d1, taking its place. b5, hit the bishop, it drops back. Now you're facing h7. Take. Very sensible, you can capture with the pawn or the knight. You might go rook d1, set up a trap, a4. This is the reason you clicked on this video. This is the gambit within the gambit. I've never seen this before. And coming up, I'm going to show you why Nihal Sarin, one of the top players from India, didn't even take it. Didn't even accept the gambit. He took, and then he just got his bishop out and allowed the rook in the middle. In this moment, just want to mention, if b4, this square is now open for white. So a knight could hop in. That's the tiny difference. If we go back here, Sarin took, the rook came in. Now we're going to look at this, because you guys might be thinking, that's a free pawn. How can you not take this pawn? Well, Dubov is so creative. He's going to have some ideas. So I'm going to show you a couple of tactics. If you just play normal moves for black, you lose. Bishop e7. Normal. You want a castle. Knight in. Already, it's looking dangerous. If you castle, bishop g5, that's less normal, because you've moved the bishop already. h6, normal move. You lose. This is why gambits are so tricky. This is why people play them, because normal moves actually lose. That's actually the best type of gambit you want to play. The most obvious move is the losing move, and then you can win so many games. White's move and win. I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Can you see it? Get rid of it, and then queen e4, double attack. Rook and mate as well. So that's one option. Another normal looking line is maybe black is sensible. I mean, a black saw the fact that the knight's coming in. What if this? Also, knight c5, maybe you hit the bishop. Rook d1. Criss-cross. The two rooks control so many lines. Or bishop e7. Normal, castle, bishop g5. Perhaps Dubov was thinking of this type of idea where you're going to swing the rook over. But maybe you want to put the bishop on the square first, so then rook h4 is now an option. Queen c7, let's say. Rook swings over. And here we go, just another normal move. That's what I want to show in these two tactical lines. If you kick the bishop away, you don't. You lose. Take. And do you take with a rook? No. You get the queen in. There's no good way, because the bishop isn't in time to defend the pawn. There's no good way to defend. King here loses. Mate. If you go forward with the pawn, because I can't see another option, you open up the square on g5 for a check. And it's mate. Check. You're coming into h7. Check. Oh, hang on. Is there a more accurate move? Ah, that's didn't even. I just thought of that now. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's cool. You didn't even need to take the knight. In this moment, if you took the rook, can't go here because it's mate, so let's go blue, flush the king out. Every square is guarded. So that's what happens. Just a couple of ways for black to go wrong. No wonder Nihal Sarin was feeling scared. Back to the game. Take. He didn't accept the gambit. Rook in the center. Beautiful rook. Normally there's a pawn there. Hit the queen. It goes to b6, knight d2. Knight c6. Now you can't go knight c4 at the moment because knight takes d4. You hit the queen. So Dubov swings the rook over anyway. Rook h4. You're coming in if black castles. Bishop b7. Hit the queen. Bishop d2 and bishop c3. Couple of bishops slicing the board. This position looks absolutely perfect. It feels like black should be up a pawn or two, because how can you get a position this good and not be down something and not be up something from black's point of view? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it feels like you should be down a pawn. Dubov is playing for free. g6, you block. One other option was to block this way, but then you go e4. And then we're going to see this tactical idea, which you saw before. If you play a normal move, e5, knight moves. I think queen e4 might be possible here, but let's go rook g4 first and then queen e4 anyway. This was the tactical idea before. So normal moves don't work. That's why it's just such a good setup from Daniil Dubov. Let's go back to this moment. Sarin chose to block with g6. Now you go knight g5. You're playing for free. Knight, rook, two bishops, slicing the board. You're coming into h7. e5 here is actually a good move. You want to block this bishop. I mean, it's an amazing piece. How do you open up the position? f4. Blow it open right here, right now. Take. I mean, what a gorgeous position. Two bishops, two rooks, knight, queen has the chance to jump in to the position. Absolutely gorgeous position. Now let's go back a few moves. In this moment, knight d5 was played. And it looks like black is getting out a little bit. Because if you play a normal move like maybe the queen moves or the rook moves to defend it, this doesn't work. You get rid of that incredible piece. You go f5, hit the queen, and this is what I was thinking, but I was wrong. You put a lot of pressure here. No, you don't. You take the knight and the queen defends the pawn. So you can't do this. Is the attack dying? No. The attack has just begun. And in one move, Daniil Dubov ends the game. This was the last moment I mentioned in the intro. Can you find one of the most beautiful moves of all time? And just like I said in the intro, how so? Because this move looks impossible. 5 seconds. Checkmate. Queen h5, thank you very much. Good night. It's okay to retire now if you can play a move this good. First question, can't take the queen because that is a double bishop. Checkmate. If you take the knight, the rook comes in. What a cool rook lift. And that is it, guys. That's it. I can't see another good move. Well, knight there to delay things, but you just chop it off and then you come in. Bishop here. By the way, it's still the same thing. You can't take the queen because the bishop is still on the diagonal. So it's still the same thing. You remove the defender You come in on h7. It really is one of the most beautiful moves of all time. Queen to h5. The video is not over. When Daniil Dubov played this beautiful game, he actually reminded me that maybe I can play a game or two. Just want to quickly show you this. So we have the King's Indian. And what happens is I try to get the center with e4. Black strikes in the center. And now we have this position. Can you see how this position relates to what Dubov played? a5 and rook a4. Just some creative idea I came up with. Does it work? I don't care. It's creative, I'll go for it. I'm not a professional chess player, so why not try this option? The amazing thing is, the guy took in center, allowing the rook in the game. Just want to mention to you guys, if a4, black can stop this with a5, and then I would have done something else. Maybe b3, bishop b2. But they didn't. My rook got in the game. And here, I'm very lucky to have this option because I took, and I didn't see black's response. Taking in the center. Black has 3 on it. I only have 2. Oops, I've blundered, right? Yes, I blundered. That's the truth. I'm so glad I blundered, because then I could play a brilliant move. Knight takes pawn. My rook has to move. I'm being chased back a little bit. Now's your chance. Pause the video. Can you find a winning move for white? Because the back rank is weak. What's he talking about? How's it weak? I got a bishop and a rook on the back. Take. It's really cool, actually. You can see creative journey from the rook, from the green arrow, and also from the blue arrow. I put my rook in the center and just sacked it for the knight. The point is, check. No good way to block. Bishop h6, I pick it up. There's no good way to defend. If you go queen e7, then I collect. I'm winning. If we go back to this moment, the person played bishop d7, so then I took the rook anyway. I'm still pinning the bishop on the back. So then the person went rook e8, the rooks come off, the bishops come off, and then I am just a knight up. So a really cool game. And I'm so glad I saw that Dubov game, because I just thought, well, why not mention it? Now, this game was a bullet game, but so what? So what? Bullet game, bullet chess is just 1 minute, but still a beautiful miniature. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of Dubov's Gambit within a Gambit?